Hey everybody, welcome back. Northern Lion Spelunky 2. Hey, wait, trying to do a little bit better lately. Let's switch up the characters. No offense meant to Alto. Alto did carry us to Neo Babylon last time. Let me get, you know, ergonomically set up here. Hello, sir. Why when I look at that Spelunky Lord, do I just think of Crossy Road? I don't know. I'm here to tell you, though, if we're talking, and it seems like we do be talking, if we're talking, there's no way this is gonna work. Best spring shoes? Best spring shoes? I'd say they come from the company known as Spring. You guys have Spring in other parts of the world? It used to be called Aldo. I believe it's a British shoe manufacturer. But like many things that are British, for a long time I thought it was Canadian because we also have them. I used to own some Aldo shoes. I don't know, I've never been a very fashion-forward guy. I used to, especially like in high school, I used to wear like big-time, you know, what are those sorts of like, you know, wide-toed galoshes. But I've occasionally, I'm not trying to say, you know, I was too out of the pocket with it, but I've occasionally experimented with some funkier shoes. I remember when I was in... That's trash. That's trash. We don't want it. Move on. I remember when I was in university, Aldo had a sale. Any 3 pairs of shoes in this, men's shoes, because women's shoes, they probably charge like 10 times more, but any 3 pairs of shoes in the store, $60. Now, $60 Canadian, it depends on how you see value. $60 Canadian then was actually, like, in some ways worth more than $60 Canadian now, at least in reference to the American dollar. But still, that's no! Anytime you're paying, you know, $20 a pair for shoes, you're happy, right? I do remember, though, it was like a very, you know, it was a very, like, 19-year-old idea of what fashion is like. I'm pretty sure I just bought, like, 3 pairs of sneakers, and I was like, these are my everyday sneakers. These are my, we're going to a nice place sneakers. And these are my, like, ooh, we're gonna get funky sneakers. People will be like, whoa, red shoes? This guy's nuts. This guy's lost his freaking mind. Alright, look. I know he's just trying to start a local business. Let that be a lesson to you. Invest in some loss prevention. How do I feel about this situation presently? I would describe myself as, last floor, not optimistic. Pretty low amount of money. This floor, I actually feel like we seem like we're leaving, in a pretty good spot. You know? We're not quite done yet. Oh, no! Oh, no! We're not quite done yet. We do have 20,000. We're gonna have 3 HP, which is not great, but it's not horrible. Thank you. I bet we can get all the way over to here. I thought about going down that way. I'm kind of glad we didn't, I guess. I mean, with 25,000 is legit, especially considering we haven't had an altar. And, of course, by an altar, I mean an idol. We haven't had an idol or a ghost pot so far this game. That's pretty good. Let's caffeinate here. Very interesting. Well worth the cost. Right, you just eat it there. Well worth the cost to get an early paste, I think. Hey, let's go! I'm willing to gamble slightly on this. Keep in mind... Okay, that's fine. I was just gonna say, like, keep in mind, even if we don't get, the power pack... We do still have the means. That was pretty good there. We do still have the means to get, you know, just some extra money, right? Let's do it. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Come on, man. Really? a little rude, but it's okay. I'm assuming we're gonna get some bombs later. And if we don't, well then, it's a situation where we say, like, what the heck, game? Sometimes it's nice when the game sort of screws you because you get... Like, some people in life want success. Some people in life are okay with failure as long as it's somebody else's fault and they can be like, hey, it's their fault, I didn't... And that's what I'm, like, angling for. You can do it, Monty. Like, if I can, forget the ghost pot. If I can at least lose the run... I mean, winning the run and getting new accomplishments would be the best. But if I could at least lose the run and have it be somebody else's fault so I could garner some sympathy from the internet, that would be enough for me. Of course, you know, I hate that it even needs to be said. I'm being a little bit facetious. Just a little bit, but... Dunkity-dunk. I think that went pretty well. Alright, so you know the deal. With the power pack... What are you doing? With the power pack, unfortunately, you're pretty much stuck going to the black market. It's not a bad thing. You know, the power pack is actually like a big advantage on the black market. Get you know, usually not that much extra loot, but a little extra loot and a lot of extra maneuverability. So all we need to do, I got the whole game plan set up here. First, if I could just get you to, yeah, you don't even have to roll there. So I want you to come back. I don't think you're making it all the way. Okay, so now I've gotten myself into this position we oftentimes do get ourselves into, where I need him to just come a little further down. Not gonna happen. Okay. Well, I don't know then, man, to be honest with you. Maybe we just kill this dude with skulls rather than waste a bomb. Quillback, look. I'm not gonna try to say I'm the greatest fighter of Quillback of all time. I think I've been known to make mistakes in the Quillback fight. That was pretty good though. But we're not gonna go to Volcana, okay? We're gonna go to the jungle, which I also call the black market, which is not fair. I will tell you as well, I'm not happy with my camera position right now. I feel like, yeah, I'm not a tall guy. I'm like, you know, it varies depending on who's asking. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", okay? That's an honest 5'9", 5'10", not the kind of, you know, 5'9", 5'10", where someone's actually like 5'6", but they're like, yeah, I don't really know, because, like, I don't know, I was 5'10" in 8th grade, and then I stopped keeping track. That's an honest, like, 175 centimeters. I'm not too worried about my height, you know, from a genetic perspective. I've already, you know, passed on my information as a result. You know, it makes it a little bit easier to not be so sensitive about it. I understand why some guys are in particular. But I feel like just the easiest way to gain a couple of extra inches on your height, raise your computer chair, dummy. Nobody has to know how tall you are in the Zoom classroom. Just start sitting on like a bar stool. You're gonna go to outer space. People will be like, whoa, this guy's like 35 feet tall. That's crazy. That's too rich for my blood, let's be honest. Okay, what do we lack on this run? What do we need? What do we have? We have paste. It's very nice. No, thank you. We have spring shoes. Actually pretty nice as well. We have a power pack. I'm undecided about that one. It's on site. You know it's on site. So the power pack is pretty sweet. And beyond being pretty sweet, in and of itself, did also create like a lot of HP for us on this floor. Very exciting. However, certainly, like, we want some verticality moving forward. I think the power pack is at its best in the early game up to the jungle. I don't think there's any controversy there. You know... Right, we'll be going to Volcana on this run. Just take a moment. Take a moment and caffeinate. Anyway. Honestly, I didn't even know, like, height was that big of a deal. I think, and this is sincere, I think it's because, like, I went to a relatively small high school. So, like, the tallest person at my high school was probably, like, I don't know, maybe 6'3". And if you saw him in the hallway, you would be like, whoa, that dude is freaking tall. That's a tall guy. That's not, well, it may be the tallest guy in my class. Because there were, like, one guy I went to high school with ended up becoming, like, this is for real, one of the most decorated Canadian college basketball players of all time. And, you know, this is not meant to be an insult to him at all. But what does that get you, being one of the best Canadian college basketball players of all time? It gets you a career in the Italian Basketball League. Sadly, like, that should put it into perspective that, you know, when it comes to Canadian basketball, yeah, there's, you know, like Steve Nash and, wasn't there, like, a really touted Canadian basketball prospect, like, 2 years ago? Like, the sport's, like, growing in Canada, for sure, don't get me wrong. But usually, the best... Oh, come on, dude. The best Canadian players, I guess they go to American colleges and universities. Anyway, like, I don't know why this came out as, like... It wasn't meant to be an insult. You know, they have their own Wikipedia article, and I don't. However, he wasn't in my graduating class. He's like 2 or 3 years older than me. But yeah, like, you know, if you saw someone that was like 6'2" in my high school, you'd be like, whoa, they're so tall. Pretty much everybody I went to high school with was like, you know, we were like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. We didn't, like, the hobbits don't know that they're short, right? They probably look at Sam and they're like, whoa, dude, how'd you get so big? Anyway. Pop me out here. I also find it hilarious that, like, so this is gonna seem counterintuitive based on the basketball bit I just told you. My high school was not like a sports factory. Like, it didn't create amazing athletes, but it had a pretty good, like, local sports reputation, which is good because the academics were, like, straight up garbage. This scares me. Just give me a second here. The academics were so garbage that, like, there was a risk that I could have been the valedictorian. Let's put it that way. It didn't pan out that way. I was too invested in Rainbow Six 3. Little scary. Dude, we want it. We want these for sure. And you know what? Spectacles for $3 grand, why not? Hook me up. Oh, geez, that was a little scary. Okay, fine, you got me. You happy? There's chaos at the bottom there. But I always laugh when I think back to, like, the fact that my high school would, like, routinely come first or second in local school district basketball championships, and I remember that, like, all of my friends were under 6 feet tall. You know, if we can afford paste, I would take it. I'm like, man, those... Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean they were bad at shooting, but I'm just saying there were probably a lot of three-pointers in those games. Dunky dunk, dunky dunky dunk, dunkity dunk. And a lot of layups. So we have to be a little creative here. Why? I mean, we could probably get Monty, but it's like... Well, I don't know what it's like, because I'm going to do it. Bro! I can't believe we didn't anger the shopkeeper. It's actually, like, incredible. I was upset. You could tell from the fact that I said bro like that. The universal sign of anger. I was just gonna say, it's gotta be there. So here's what I think you do. You know, if you have to use some ropes to do it, you gotta use some ropes to do it, but... Oh my god, we don't. Okay, so I think we're gonna want paste. I mean, we want paste to begin with, but I like... think we're gonna want it for this section uniquely as well. Just checking. And then I'm trying to... It's gonna take us several bombs to do this. I'm not trying to be anti-Derek right now. I will say that I think we've had some very not so nice floor layouts. We still have a minute. Like, even, like, I guess we didn't need to use 2 bombs there. We could have just used 1 there the whole time. So that one's completely my own fault. I'll acknowledge that, but still. Be that as it may, praise Baldy, by the way. Be that as it may, some offense taken. I don't like my chances of getting that ghost pot without either breaking it or angering the shopkeeper. So we're going to cut our losses. And we're going to move on. 9 bombs, 1 rope. Pretty close to the Kali payout there, so I'm excited about that. But that's none of my business. Alright, there's no reason to believe that this run couldn't pog. I feel like my pog quotient has been lower lately. Not the pogificity of the videos, like some of them pog, some of them don't. You know, when Spelunky flags in so-called pogificity, the idea is that maybe Chess is there to clean up to pick up the slack, right? Hello. However, in terms of the expression of pog, the statement of pog, been a little lighter in that department, I think. We've been saying the word pog less. Okay, so I would like you. Hello, it's you. That's where you are, you're there. We'd like you to come over here. Just give him a second to walk, because we're going to use the spike shoes. And I hope that there's no complications here. Good. Very nice, actually. Do we prefer Monty or the Ghost Pot? I'm not comfortable on Volcana. I feel like Monty... oh, my money, Lebowski. Feel like we would prefer... And money's not that valuable on Volcana as it is on the jungle. So I think the HP is a little bit more precious for us, for certain. Now... Usually, Volcana runs honestly seem to go one of 2 ways, and I'm being very nice when I say this. Either we get Vladimir's cape and we make it like at least to Neo Babylon, which is the spoilers, but the best case scenario for this possible outcome. Or alternatively, we let's go. Don't. And usually that ends with us having like a single drip of lava falling on top of our head and ending the run with a little bit of salt, a little salt involved. I think we want to do this. You don't see, like, that's a precious moment to see a ladybug without its without being, like, climbing on the... Look, it's still pretty early in the morning by my standards. Okay, well, if we have to... Well, no, because it's up. Up is the color of our energy here. Hold on, I'm just trying to, like... Maybe we'd rather use a bomb than use a rope? Don't fall on me, please. Okay, I mean, it didn't fall on me. It fell into a place where I can actually use it. Yeah, ropes are slightly more precious just because we have so few of them compared. I feel like you can really, like, you know, people make rules, and I've been talking too much about, like, investing. I apologize, but, you know, when you start a new hobby, you sometimes... We'll do another one here. Sometimes I have a tendency to become that very, like, annoying guy about it. I won't disabuse you of that notion. Well, I don't know, like, when I was younger and more bored, I was definitely that guy who's like, yo, have you heard of, you know, Roblox or so? I mean, that was it's a little bit after my time, but, you know, I would talk your ear off about it. Now, I just shut up about it, because, like, you know, I recognize that I've been in the other position where, like, people won't stop talking about their hobbies, and you're like, don't get me wrong, it's cool, but oh my god, you've been talking about this for, like, for weeks now, and all I've ever said is, whoa, that's insane. So, like, haha, whoa, really? Cool. LOL, all lowercase. You know, you kind of get these signals if somebody's not that interested in what you're saying, and you just go, all right, well, you know, it's, if you're not interested, you're not interested. But now it's like when someone asks me about it, I won't shut up about it, and they'll regret that they asked. But people come up with these, you know, nonsense sort of systems for the stock market, where they're like, I guess I shouldn't call them nonsense without having, like, anything to back it up. But they'll come up with a system that's like, you know, oh, if the stock graph makes an inverted wedge pattern, that's a bull flag that indicates it's likely to rise as much as, like, you know, 70% in the next 3 weeks. And, you know, maybe there's some legitimacy to the technical analysis there. But I think if you want real legitimate technical analysis, you got to talk about it in Spelunky terms. See, I'm bringing it back. I got a plan for this floor as well. You got to do it in Spelunky terms. If you look at my eyes and you see dark circles under them, that Spelunky run is probably going to be in a bad place. We're doing it early in the morning, and first thing of the day leaves me at perhaps a little bit of a disadvantage, you know? If I look fresh, then more power to you. Bet on a win, potentially. So what do I look today? You're not going to offend me. I do remember, like, it was probably like 3 weeks after we had the baby. Somebody in chat was like, wow, this guy really has dark circles under his eyes. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm tired. It's not even like, I don't consider it like that jerky of a comment. I'm just more like, you know, what do you think? I was going to show up like fresh as a daisy or something? So this is a bit of a gamble, but give me a second here. I really want this jetpack. I'm trying to terraform. You know what? We're going to give you a real one here. We just ran out of ropes, unfortunately. You know, I think we're in speedrun territory. Like, this run is, we're already kind of speeding, and there's obviously like a tilt going on. But the other half of the tilt is like, you know, 19 minutes into an episode, I'll hit you with a second real one. 22 minutes into an episode, you know, it's the 3 minutes that makes all the difference, I suppose. You know, I'm like, maybe this is one where it's just a little better for us to just speed up and see if we can ever set the new moon record. So this is an interesting one. I actually think if we can afford it, we can't. Never mind. Compass also seems great for a speed run, don't get me wrong. Now, you might take this as a compromise, but I actually see that, like, if we were able to succeed on a speed run in Spelunky 2, it would actually be, like, pretty amazing. It's got to be one of the harder achievements in the game, for sure. Makes for a very good value add to a video, in my opinion. Turkey's kind of an interesting play, for sure. You know, anytime we can buy something useful, like something that has an obvious use case, and it doesn't deviate from our critical path, then I'm a happy man. I'm a very happy man in this situation. Okay, so that was, like, I saw the arrow trap, and I said to myself, we're doing it. Did I think that it was gonna work? No, I had no belief necessarily that it was a guarantee. Alrighty then, I'm pretty pleased with that, to be honest with you. And I gotta tell you, I've been thinking about this because I've been playing chess lately. I think, let me try to think about the best way to explain this. I honestly don't assume that I'm any smarter than anybody, including, you know, the quote-unquote average person. You might get an air of superiority from the way that I speak. It's a bad habit, you know, is the honest answer there. I talk like a college professor, and I play video games for a living. It's, you know, there's some dissonance there for sure. Some disconnect, at least. However, honestly, if we're being real, that's probably one of the reasons you're here. But secondarily, I genuinely am like, you know, oh, a scientist? Okay, whatever, dude. Well, you sit in a lab all day, dummy? And then someone's like, I'm an electrician. I'm like, you're like the smartest person I've ever met in my life. What? You like move ions around? That's crazy, man. That being said, I do think, and this is maybe where it gets a little braggadocious, I do think my brain, given a small time frame, I think it works faster than the average person's. But I think that, like in Blitz, for example, like I think versus the average, you know, half-decent chess player, I think I am better at, good, very, very smart move. I'm better at Blitz, but then, like, when, I knew it was coming. when we get into, like, real time frames, like, you know, when you get, I don't know, 90 minutes to think of your moves, like, that's where I start to be like, not each move, obviously. When you, or I don't know, maybe if you play correspondence chess, you could have 90 minutes. But when you have like 90 minutes per side, I definitely have a bad habit of coming up with the best move in like 3 seconds, or what I think is the best move, and then being like, well, let's not think about it any further. Yeet, and then, you know, my opponent thinks for 5 minutes and just hits me with like the perfect response, and I'm like, oh crap. Well, I don't think we can even go that way, so let's not tease ourselves. A little on the slower side here, but that's okay. Still, I mean, it's very early. So again, like, just to recap, you could take it in bad faith. Oh, NL thinks he's got a great brain. No, I think I have a good, fast brain, but that competitive advantage is dissipated proportionally as the time to accomplish a task increases. If you gave me like 5 minutes to write an essay, I'm comfortable that I would write a better essay than 80% of the people in the class. If you gave me a week to write it, well, I still think I would do relatively well, because I'm like, I have a way with words, I've been told. But I have no more confidence that I would be like close to the top, let's put it that way. Which is a really roundabout way of getting to my actual point, which is, I think a speed run. I think if you had a Spelunky elo, my rating would be higher for speed runs than it is for default runs. Now, you're not really seeing that here. But I'm hopeful that we'll get there. Okay, so to be honest, I actually do feel not really how I meant to do that, as you could probably tell from the look on my face when it happened. I do feel like Volcana's the right way to go if you're on a speed run. Lots of the levels are just, you know, you just fall. Hate that. Meant to take one with me. That's okay. Leprechaun! Yoink. Compass? No compass? So many casinos, dude. Okay, we don't have the Ujedi, so we ignore the drill. Remember, what's our goal? Recontextualize our goal here. Okay. We want to... No, we want to not die here! Well, I wanted to beat the game in 10 minutes. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. I apologize, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!